Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, June 5th, 2023. Monster Monday show for you guys today. NBA Finals, Stanley Cup Final, baseball, college softball, WNBA, NASCAR, golf, soccer, everything going on. News and notes, best bet. We'll start the NBA Finals. We'll go over the results from yesterday and talk about the game for a little bit. As the Miami Heat even up this NBA Finals at one game apiece with a 111-108 road victory in Denver against the Nuggets. Gabe Vincent, 23 points in the win for Miami. Nikola Jokic, 41 points and 11 boards for the MVP from 2 of the last 3 years. But only 4 assists, though. But he was still spectacular. Jamal Murray, 18 and 10. Bruce Brown off the bench had 11. Jeff Green off the bench was pretty solid. Max Strus finally got some big threes, 14 points for him. Bam Adebayo at 21 and 9. Jimmy Butler had 21 and 9 assists, 4 boards. Duncan Robinson had 10 off the bench. So, really fun game. Big win for Miami. And now we have ourselves a series after some people thought it was over after Game 1. Game 3 will be Wednesday night from Miami. So, we are looking forward to talking about that. Okay, the Stanley Cup Final. Game 1 was Saturday night. As the Golden Knights defeated the Panthers 5-2 to get up 1-0 in the series. The number 3 started game with 33 saves on 35 shots. Aiden Hill, number 2, started game with a goal. Michael Stewart, number 1, started game with a goal. Zach Whitecloud. We have a game tonight, Game 2, from Vegas, 8 o'clock on TNT. Kenny Albert, Eddie Olczyk, and Keith Jones will be on the call. Vegas is a minus 140 favorite. The Panthers are plus 116, over under 5.5. Over is minus 122, and there's even money. Florida plus 1.5 is minus 210. Vegas minus 1.5 is plus 172. For this one, I think Florida wins and evens the series at 1 apiece. I think that this is going to be a fun series. And I think the layoff hurt Florida in Game 1. So I'm going to say the Panthers win tonight at plus 116 in Vegas to even up the Stanley Cup Final at 1 game apiece. Now I'll move on to Major League Baseball from the weekend. We'll go over the results and look ahead to the games for today. So Friday, Brewers over Reds 5-4-11. Marlins over the A's 4-0. Nats over the Phillies 8-7. Pirates over the Cardinals 7-5. Jays over the Mets 3-0. Rangers over the Mariners 2-0. Astros over the Angels 6-2. Twins over the Guardians 1-0. Rockies over the Royals 7-2. White Sox over the Tigers 3-0. T-backs over the Braves 3-2. Cubs over the Padres 2-1. Orioles over the Giants 3-2. And Rays Red Sox postponed makeup date is today. Saturday, Red Sox over the Rays 8-5. White Sox over the Tigers 2-1-10 on a walk-off wild pitch. The pitcher for the Tigers, Jose Cisnero, threw a wild pitch as Yoan Moncada scored the winning run. Phillies over the Nationals 4-2. Rangers over the Mariners 16-6. Pirates over the Cardinals 4-3. Astros over the Angels 9-6. Royals lose at home to the Rockies 6-4. Brewers over the Reds 10-8. Marlins over the A's 12-1. Jays over the Mets 2-1. Rays over the Red Sox 4-2. Guardians over the Twins 4-2. Yankees over the Dodgers 6-3. Giants over the O's 4-0. Braves over the Diamondbacks 5-2. And the Padres over the Cubs 6-0. Then Sunday, Pirates over the Cardinals 2-1. Phillies over the Nats 11-3. Rays over the Red Sox 6-2. Brewers over the Reds 5-1. Marlins over the A's 7-5. Jays over the Mets 6-4. Angels over the Astros 2-1. Guardians over the Twins 2-1. Royals over the Rockies 2-0. White Sox over the Tigers 6-2. Rangers over the Mariners 12-3. Orioles over the Giants 8-3. Braves over the D-backs 8-5. Cubs over the Padres 7-1. And the Yankees over the Dodgers 4-1 on Sunday Night Baseball. All right, so there's only 8 games today. 4 o'clock, makeup game from Friday, Rays Red Sox from Fenway, Shane McClanahan and Brian Balow. McClanahan has to be the leader of the clubhouse for the AL Cy Young right now. He's minus 162 favorite on the road. Boston's plus 136 over from their 9. Over's minus 104 and there's minus 118. Tampa minus 1.5 is plus 102. Red Sox plus 1.5 is minus 122. This game I'm going full under. 6:30 Tigers, Phillies. Boy, do the Phillies need these games. Joey Wentz and Aaron Nola. The Phillies minus 230. The Tigers plus 190 over under 8.5. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Detroit plus 1.5 is minus 105. Phillies minus 1.5 is minus 114. For this one, I'm going to go with over 5 Philly runs at plus 104. Their offense needs to wake up, and it needs to wake up in a hurry. Fox Sports 1 at 6:30. Royals, Marlins, Carlos Hernandez, and Braxton Garrett. Marlins minus 158, Royals plus 134 over under 8.5, overs minus 104, and there's minus 118. Royals plus 1.5 is minus 142. Marlins minus 1.5 is plus 118. I'm going full game over. A's Pirates, JP Sears and Johan Oviedo. Pirates minus 184, A's plus 154 over under 8.5, overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Oakland plus 1.5 is minus 128. Pittsburgh minus 1.5 is plus 106. For this one, I'm going to go with over 4.5 Pirate runs at minus 118. Astros, Blue Jays. Brandon Bielak and Alek Manoah. So, excellent game. Maybe the ALCS preview. Jays minus 126. Houston plus 108. Over under 10. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Houston plus 1.5 is minus 176. Toronto minus 1.5 is plus 146. This total is based on how bad Alek Manoah has been this year. But I don't want to bet on the full game over because Bielak isn't bad. So I'm going to go under 5 Blue Jay runs, minus 108. That's high. Brewers, Reds. Julio Teheran and Andrew Abbott making his debut. Reds minus 122, Brewers plus 104, under 9.5, overs minus 108, unders minus 112. Brewers plus 1.5 is minus 182, Reds minus 1.5 is plus 150. Full game under, that is way too high, even for Abbott, who's making his debut. Tehran's been terrific this year. Even if it's an 8-1 Brewer win, 7-2 Brewers, that's a winning bet. Cardinals, Rangers at 8. So the 2011 World Series rematch. Adam Wainwright and Martin Perez. Rangers minus 132, Cards plus 112, over under 9.5, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Cards plus 1.5 is minus 166, Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 138. I'm going full game over here. At 9 o'clock, Cubs, Padres, Kyle Hendricks, and Blake Snell. Padres minus 166, Cubs plus 140 over under 8.5, overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Cubs plus 1.5 is minus 142, Padres minus 1.5 is plus 118. For this one, I'm going full game under. Now we'll move on to the WNBA from the weekend. We'll go over the results, but we don't have games until tomorrow. So, Friday, Liberty over the Sky, 77-76, Commissioner's Cup game on a game winner by Brianna Stewart with 7.1 seconds left. Mystics over the Wings, 75-74. Aces over the Dream, 92-87. Sparks over the Mercury, 99-93 in overtime in Commissioner's Cup game. Saturday, Lynx over the Mystics, 80-78. And in Commissioner's Cup, Sparks over the Storm, 92-85. And then Sunday, Commissioner's Cup, Sky over the Liberty, 86-82. As the Liberty get handed their first home loss of the year. Sun over the Wings, 80-74. And the Aces over the Fever, 84-80. So, yeah, no games today. And we have games the rest of the week, including Wednesday. And we did not have games Wednesday last week, but no game Saturday coming up, so that's weird. All right, the Women's College World Series. We'll go over the results from the last couple of days and look ahead to today. So, Thursday, Tennessee over Alabama 10-5. Oklahoma over Stanford 2-0. Florida State over Oklahoma State 8-0 in 6. And Utah-Washington was postponed. All right, double elimination. Washington over Utah 4-1 on Friday. And Stanford upsets Alabama 2-0. So if Alabama's eliminated. And Oklahoma State over Utah 8-0 in 5. Saturday, double elimination. Oklahoma over Tennessee 9-0 in 5. And Florida State over Washington 3-1. And then Sunday, elimination. Stanford beats Washington 1-0. So Stanford could be that team making a magical run. And Tennessee knocks off Oklahoma State 3-1. All right, a lot of games today. 12 o'clock, double elimination. Oklahoma, Stanford. So, there could end up with a rematch if necessary. So, I'm trying to figure out how this works and who wins. Trying to figure out who wins to the point where the rematch would have to be set up. So it's the semifinal now. So 12 o'clock, it's Oklahoma and Stanford. I think if Stanford wins, they play again. That's my guess. When it comes to the second game. So Stanford would have to win twice to knock out Oklahoma. So I think Oklahoma wins. But that's weird it says if necessary. I think if the underdog wins, that means if it's necessary. Because then Oklahoma would win. And then Stanford would play the loser of Florida State, Tennessee. So Tennessee would have to win twice. So that would be 7 o'clock, Florida State against Tennessee. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to say Oklahoma gets it done. And then I think we may have 2 games for Florida State, Tennessee. And then Florida State will play Oklahoma in the final. All right, college baseball. We'll get into that a little bit. We have that NCAA tournament going on right now. So Friday, Charlottesville Regionals, 17 Virginia over Army 15-1. Lexington, 12 seed Kentucky over Ball State 4-0. Gainesville, Texas Tech over UConn 3-2. Clemson, number 4 Clemson over Lipscomb 12-5. Terre Haute, 14 seed Indiana State over Wright State 6-5. Columbia, NC State over Campbell 5-1. Stillwater, Washington over Dallas Baptist 9-5. Nashville, Oregon over Xavier 5-4. Conway, Duke over UNC Wilmington 12-3. Winston-Salem, Maryland over Northeastern 7-2. Auburn, Sanford over Southern Miss 4-2 and 10. 3-seed Arkansas over Santa Clara 13-6 in Fayetteville. Baton Rouge, 5-seed LSU over Tulane 7-2. Tuscaloosa, Troy over Boston College 11-10. Coral Gables, Texas over Louisiana 4-2. Stanford, 8-seed Stanford over San Jose State 13-2. Or I should say not 8-seed, but number 8 in the rankings. Gainesville, number 2 Florida over Florida A&M 3-0. Clemson, Tennessee over Charlotte 8-1. Winston-Salem, number 1 Wake over George Mason 12-0. Conway, Ryder over Tennessee Coastal Carolina 11-10 and 10. Stillwater, Oral Roberts over number 11 Oklahoma State 6-4. Auburn, Penn over 13 Auburn 6-3 and 11. Columbia, 15 South Carolina over Central Connecticut 19-1. Charlottesville, East Carolina over Oklahoma 14-5. Terre Haute, Iowa over North Carolina 5-4. Lexington, Indiana over West Virginia 12-6. Coral Gables, number 9 Miami over Maine 9-1. Nashville, number 6 Vanderbilt over East Illinois 12-2. Baton Rouge, Oregon State over Sam Houston 18-2. Fayetteville, TCU over Arizona 12-4. Stanford, Texas A&M over Fullerton 12-7. And Tuscaloosa, 16 Alabama over Nichols 4-3. Saturday, all elimination games. Or not all, but some were, some were not. All right, elimination games. Conway, number 10 Coastal Carolina over UNC Wilmington 12-2. Charlottesville, Oklahoma over Army 10-1. Terre Haute, elimination game. North Carolina over Wright State 5-0. By the way, Oklahoma eliminated Army too. Elimination game, Clemson, Charlotte over Lipscomb 9-2. Gainesville, elimination game, UConn over Florida A&M 9-6. Columbia, elimination game, Campbell over Central Connecticut 10-5. Lexington, elimination game, West Virginia over Ball State 13-5. Winston-Salem, elimination game, George Mason over Northeastern 11-3. Coral Gables, elimination game, Louisiana over Maine 19-10. Stillwater, elimination game, Dallas Baptist upsets number 11 Oklahoma State 18-4. Auburn, elimination game, Southern Miss over number 13 Auburn 7-2. Stanford, elimination game, Fullerton over San Jose State 9-5. Nashville, elimination game, Xavier over Eastern Illinois 7-0. Baton Rouge, elimination game, Sam Houston over Tulane 10-2. Tuscaloosa, elimination game, BC over Nichols 14-6. Winston-Salem, regional, number 1 Wake over Maryland 21-6. So these are not elimination games. These are win and move on. And then loser faces elimination. Gainesville, Texas Tech over number 2 Florida 5-4. Clemson, Tennessee over number 4 Clemson 6-5 and 14. Charlottesville, number 7 Virginia over East Carolina 2-1. Lexington, Indiana over number 12 Kentucky 5-3. Terre Haute, number 14 Indiana State over Iowa 7-4. Columbia, number 15 South Carolina over NC State 6-3. Conway, Duke over Ryder 2-1. Coral Gables, Texas over number 9 Miami 4-1. Nashville, Oregon over number 6 Vanderbilt 8-7. Stanford, Texas A&M over number 8 Stanford 8-5. Tuscaloosa, number 16 Alabama over Troy 11-8. Auburn, Penn over Sanford 5-4. Stillwater, Oral Roberts over Washington 15-2. Fayetteville, Santa Clara over Arizona 9-3. TCU number 3 Arkansas postponed, and Oregon State number 5 LSU is postponed. Sunday results. Baton Rouge elimination game, Sam Houston over Tulane 10-2. Gainesville elimination game, number 2 Florida over UConn 8-2. Clemson elimination game, Charlotte over number 4 Clemson 3-2, so Clemson's out. Coral Gables elimination game, number 9 Miami over Louisiana 8-5. Conway elimination game, number 10 Coastal Carolina over Ryder 13-5. Lexington elimination game, number 12 Kentucky over West Virginia 10-0. Terre Haute elimination game, Iowa over North Carolina 6-5 and 13. Charlottesville elimination game, East Carolina over Oklahoma 8-5. Columbia, elimination game. Campbell over NC State, 11-1. Winston-Salem, elimination game. George Mason over Maryland, 11-10. Fayetteville, non-elimination. TC over number 3 Arkansas, 20-5. Baton Rouge, no elimination. Number 5 LSU over Oregon State, 6-5. Nashville, elimination. Xavier over number 6 Vanderbilt, 2-1. So Vanderbilt's out. Stanford, elimination game. Number 8 Stanford over Fullerton, 6-5. Tuscaloosa, elimination game. BC over Troy, 4-1. Southern Miss over Samford, 9-4. Auburn, elimination game. Stillwater, elimination game. Dallas Baptist over Washington, 9-1. So Dallas Baptist making a run. Gainesville, non-elimination. Number 2 Florida over Texas Tech, 7-1. Charlottesville, elimination. Or, it's not elimination, it's number 7 Virginia over East Carolina, 8-3. Virginia advances to the Super Regionals. Coral Gables Regional. Texas over number 9 Miami, 10-6. Texas advances to Super Regionals. Number 10 Coastal Carolina over Duke, 8-6. Non-elimination. That's in Conway. Lexington, non-elimination. Number 12 Kentucky over Indiana, 16-6. Terre Haute Regional. Number 14 Indiana State over Iowa, 11-8. Indiana State advances to Super Regionals. Columbia Regional. Number 15 South Carolina over Campbell, 16-7. South Carolina advances to Super Regionals. Tennessee over Charlotte, 9-2. Clemson Regional. Tennessee advances to Super Regionals. Winston-Salem Regional. Number 1 Wake over George Mason, 15-1. Wake advances to Super Regionals. Fayetteville elimination game. Number 3 Arkansas over Santa Clara, 6-4. Stanford Regional. Number 8 Stanford over Texas A&M, 13-5. Stillwater Regional. Oral Roberts over Dallas Baptist, 6-5. Oral Roberts advances to Super Regionals. Auburn Regional. Southern Miss over Penn, 11-2. Nashville Regional. Oregon over Xavier, 11-2. Oregon advances to Super Regionals. Baton Rouge Regional elimination game. Oregon State over Sam Houston, 3-1. And Tuscaloosa Regional. Alabama, number 16 over BC, 8-0. Alabama advances to Super Regionals. All right, a lot of games today. Some elimination games. And then we have baseball championships in certain regions. So, in some of these instances, if a certain team wins, then they may have to play 3 games. Or 2. So, So, 12 o'clock on ESPNU today, you have Texas Tech and number 2 Florida. It's an elimination game. I'm going to see if we have baseball lines for college. We do. Florida's minus 250, Texas Tech's plus 190, over under 12.5, overs minus 136, unders plus 102. Texas Tech plus 1.5 is even money. Florida minus 1.5 is minus 130. I think Florida's better than Texas Tech, but I'm actually going to go with the full game under. I think that's high. 2 o'clock on ESPN Plus, Baton Rouge Regional, number 5 LSU, and Oregon State. So the winner of this game goes to the Super Regional. LSU's minus 225, Oregon State's plus 172, over under 15.5, overs minus 114, unders minus 114. Oregon State plus 1.5 is minus 108, LSU minus 1.5 is minus 120. I'm going to go with the over. I think that's pretty reasonable for a number. Both of these teams are capable of putting up some runs. I know Oregon State only put up 3 in its last outing. So you know what? I'm going to change my pick on the fly to the under. That makes me nervous that Oregon State only put up 3 in the last game. 3 o'clock ESPN Fayette Regional. Number 3 Arkansas, TCU. So it's pretty much the regional final. So if TCU wins, they have to play an extra game. That's what it is. Arkansas minus 184, TCU plus 142, over under 14.5. Overs minus 106, unders minus 125. Arkansas minus 1.5 is minus 122. TCU plus 1.5 is minus 106. TCU puts up a lot of runs. And they put up a lot of runs in the first time they met, so I'm going to go with the over. Auburn Regional Elimination Game. Penn Southern Miss. So the loser of this game out. And will face Tennessee in the Super Regional. Southern Miss is minus 220. Penn's plus 168. Over under 12.5. Over is minus 110. Under is minus 122. Penn plus 1.5 is minus 106. Southern Miss minus 1.5 is minus 120. Southern Miss is capable of putting up a lot of runs. Double digits. Penn can score a little bit too, so I like the over in that game. Coastal Carolina Duke at 6 o'clock. Conway Regional Elimination Game. So it's actually a Charlottesville Super Regional, so it flips into Charlottesville and Conway. So Coastal Carolina is favored here, it looks like. Yes, minus 130 Dukes, plus 102 over under 16.5. Overs minus 118, unders minus 112. Coastal minus 1.5 is plus 108. Duke plus 1.5 is minus 140. Duke's capable of putting up a lot of runs, and so is Coastal. So it's weird that they play again. Oh, because Coastal was the lower seed. So, oh my bad, they were in the loser's bracket. That's why they play again. So, I'm going to go here with another over. And then Lexington elimination game. Indiana, number 12, Kentucky. Kentucky's minus 230. Indiana's plus 176. Over under 14.5. Minus 114 each way. Illinois, or Indiana plus 1.5 is minus 110. Kentucky minus 1.5 is minus 118. For this one, for Lexington, so Kentucky won the first game. So I guess the regional final in both brackets actually go twice, but it's weird that Tennessee didn't have to play a second game. Penn Southern Miss does. I guess the loser's bracket plays 2 games regardless. But the winner's bracket has to go 2 if the lower seed wins. So for this one, I'm going to go with over 14.5. And then Texas A&M Stanford, we don't have any lines up for that one. But I do expect Stanford to win. And if the total's anything like 16.5 or less, then I'll go with the over. All right, now move on to tennis. We'll go over the results from the weekend from the French Open. So we'll start with the men's from Friday, third round. 1 seed Carlos Alcaraz over 26-seed Denis Shapovalov in 3 sets. Juan Pablo Varillas upsets 13-seed Hugo Herbkaz in 5. 5-seed Stefano Tsitsipas over Diego Schwartzman in 3. 17-seed Lorenzo Musetti over 14-seed Cam Norrie in 3. 3-seed Novak Djokovic over 29-seed Alejandro Davidovich Fokina in 3. Sebastian Offner over Fabio Fognini in 5. Lorenzo Sonego over 17 Andrei Rublev in 5. 11-seed Karen Kaknavov over Fasani Kakianis in 4. Saturday, third round. 22-seed Alexander Zverev over 12-seed Francis Tiafoe in 4. 28-seed Grigor Dimitrov over Daniel Altmaier in 3. 23-seed Francisco Cerundolo over 19-seed Taylor Fritz in 4. 6-seed Holger Rune over Gennaro Olivieri in 3. Nicholas Cherry over Marcos Giron in 4. Tomas Echeverry over 15-seed Borna Koric in 3. 27-seed Yoshihito Nishioka over Thiago Wild in 5. 4-seed Casper Ruud over Zhang Zhizhen in 4. Fourth round began yesterday. 5-seed Stefano Tsitsipas over Stefano Tsitsipas. 5-seed Stefano Tsitsipas over Sebastian Offner in 3. I read that way wrong. 1-seed Carlos Alcaraz over 17-seed Lorenzo Musetti in 3. 3-seed Novak Djokovic over Juan Pablo Varillas in 3. And 11-seed Karen Kaknavov over Lorenzo Sonego in 4. All right, going on right now live. 6-seed Holger Rune and 23-seed Francisco Cerundolo. And 4-seed Casper Ruud and Nicholas Cherry. 12:25 you have 2017 Yoshihito Nishioka and Tomas Echeverry. And 2:15 you have 28-seed Grigor Dimitrov and 22-seed Alexander Zverev. And then tomorrow at 7:45 quarterfinals, 3-seed Novak Djokovic, 11-seed Karen Kaknavov. We'll make a pick for this, actually. Because this is important. Djokovic is minus 1,400. Kaknavov's 8-1. I'm going to go with the set betting. I'm going to go with Djokovic 3-1 at plus 260. I think Kaknavov can win a match. And then we'll bet on tomorrow between Carlos Alcaraz and Stefano Tsitsipas. All right, women's Friday, third round. Carolina Muchova upsets 27-seed Irina Begu in 2. Elena Ivanisson over Clara Tauson in 3. Solana Stevens over Yulia Putintseva in 3. Elena Svitolina over Anna Blinkova in 3. 2-seed Arina Sabalenka over Kamila Rakimova in 2. Anastasia Pavlyuchova upsets 24-seed Anastasia Potapova in 3. 28-seed Elise Mertens over Jessica Pegula, your 3-seed, in 2 sets. 9-seed Daria Kasatkina over Peyton Stearns in 2. And then Saturday, 17 Ons Jabeur over Olga Danovic in 3. Lazia Sarenka over Bianca Andreescu in 2. Anna Carolina Shmidlova over Kayla Day in 2. Bernarda Pera over Elizabeta Coccaretto in 2. 1-seed Iga Swiatek over Wang Zhu in 2. 6-0 scores in both. Impressive. 14 seed Beatrice Haddad Maya over 23 seed Ekaterina Alexandrova in 3. 6 seed Coco Gauff over Mira Andreeva in 3. And Sarah Sabrias Tormo over 4 seed Elena Rybakina in a walkover. Sunday, 4th round began. 2 seed Arina Sabalenka over Solana Stevens in 2. Elena Svitolina over 9 seed Daria Kasatkina in 2. Carolina Muchova over Elena Avancian in 2. And Anastasia Pavlyuchova upsets 28 seed Elise Mertens in 3. This is the first I've seen Mertens go in a tournament in a while. But for sure, Pavlyuchova's on some run. Finals from earlier today. 14 seed Beatrice Haddad Maya over Sarah Sabrias Tormo in 2. So this is 4th round. 17 on Jabor over Bernardo Pera in 3. Coming up shortly, Anna Carolina Shvedlova and 6 seed Coco Gauff. And at 11 o'clock, 1 seed Iga Swiatek and Lizea Sarenko. All right, quarterfinals tomorrow. Carolina Muchova and Anastasia Pavlyuchova. We'll bet the quarterfinals. So Carolina Muchova is minus 172. Anastasia Pavlyuchova is plus 142. I'm going to take her to win straight up as an underdog. Pavlyuchova plus 142. And then for set betting, I'll take her 2-1 at plus 390 also. And then 6:30 tomorrow morning, you have 2 seed Arina Sabalenka and Elena Svitolina. Sabalenka's a big favorite, minus 465, and Svitolina is plus 360. For this one, I'm going to go with Sabalenka minus 5.5 for the game spread at plus 104. Because I think she wins 2-0, and I think 2-0 minus 170 is overpriced a little bit. Now we will go over the results from the Memorial Tournament. And your winner, with a total of 7 under and a playoff score of 4, Victor Hoven. Coming in second with a score of 7 under and a playoff score of 5, Dylan McCarthy. Third with 6 under, Scotty Scheffler. Fourth with 5 under, Siwoo Kim. Tied for 5th with 4 under, Jordan Spieth and Adam Putnam. Tied for 7th with 3 under, Rory McIlroy and Adam Schenk. Tied for 9th with 2 under, Ricky Fowler, Adam Scott, Matt Fitzpatrick. Tied for 12th with 1 under, Wyndham Clark, Lucas Hodges, David Slipsky, Tyrell Hatton. Tied for 16th at even, Joseph Bramlett, Ryan Henley, John Rahm, Sam Burns, Luke Bliss, Shane Lowry, Hideki Matsuyama, Seb Straka. Tied for 24th with 1 over. We're going to do notables now only because of time. Bayo Hostler, Eric Cole, Stefan Yeager, Xander Schauffele, Gary Woodland. Tied for 30th with 2 over. Patrick Rogers, Grayson Higo, J.J. Spawn, Mark Hubbard, Austin Eckroyd, Ryan Fox, Patrick Cantlay, Keegan Bradley. Tied for 38th with 3 over. Christian Ziedenhout, Lucas Donald, J.T. Potson. Tied for 41st with 4 over. Taylor Montgomery, Justin Suey, Seamus Power, Sanjay M, Scott Stevens, H. Kim, Brent Snecker. Tied for 48th with 5 over. Keith Mitchell, Matt Wallace, Emiliano Grillo, Tomas Dietrich. Tied for 52nd with 6 over. Harry English and Alex Duran. Tied for 54th with 7 over. Davis Riley, Danny Willett. Tied for 56th with 8 over. Sam Ryder and Davis Thompson. Tied for 58th with 9 over. Chesapeake and City Figlia. Tied for 60th with 10 over. Taylor Pendrith and Stuart Sink. 62nd with 11 over. Matt Kuchar. 63rd with 12 over. Sam Bennett. 64th with 13 over. Lucas Griffin. 65th with 17 over. Taylor Hogue. And among those cut, Adam Hadwin, Jason Day, Zach Johnson, Ben Griffin, Jill Diamond, Mackenzie Hughes, Trey Mullinax, Chris Kirk, Cam Young, Nate Hardy, Will Gordon, Matt Neesmith, Kevin Stroman, Robbie Shelton, Nicholas Echevarria, Justin Thomas, Lucas Herbert, Scott Stallings, MJ Dauphin, Brendan Wu, Brian Harmon, Lucas Glover, Dylan Langworth, Adam Svensson, Kyung-Gu Lee, Justin Lauer, Corey Connors, Nate Hochar, Ben Taylor, Cam Davis, Jason Duffner, Aaron Ray, Alex Molly, Tristan Lawrence, Trey Merritt, Kevin Kisner, Bo Hogg, Kurt Katayama, Francesco Molinari, KJ Choi, Brett Horschel, Hayden Buckley, Peter Malnati, Chad Ramey, and withdrawing Colin Morikawa, Dylan Fratelli, and Brendan Todd. All right, now move on to NASCAR from the weekend. We'll go over this weekend's results. We'll start with the truck from Saturday. Your winner, Grant Effinger. Second, Christian X. Third, Stuart Friesman. Fourth, Carson Hocevar. Fifth, Chase Purdy. Sixth, Matt DiMenzetto. Seventh, Ben Rhodes. Eighth, Nick Sanchez. Ninth, Jesse Love. 10th, Jake Garcia. The rest, Daniel Dye, Colby Howard, Tanner Gray, Brett Holmes, Roger Caruth, Tanner Ankrum, Bailey Curry, Timmy Hill, Matt Mills, Zane Smith, Tanner Gray, Lawless Allen, Josh Rume, Tony Breidinger, Matt Crafton, Spencer Boyd, Chris Hacker, Norm Benning, Jack Wood, Ty Majeski, Stephen Mazzoli, Haley Deegan, Connor Jones, Dean Thompson, and in the cellar, Clay Greenfield. Xfinity from Portland, your winner, Cole Custer, coming in second. Justin Allgaier, third. Sam Meyer, fourth. Josh Berry, fifth. Austin Hill, sixth. Myatt Snyder, seventh. Sheldon Creed, eighth. Connor Mosak, ninth. Cam Smith, 10th. Chandler Smith, 9th. 10th, John Hunter Nemechek. The rest, Alex Labe, Brett Moffitt, Brandon Jones, Parker Klingerman, Blaine Perkins, Josh Williams, Parker Wetzlaff, Ryan Sieg, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Patrick Emmerling, Anthony Alfredo, Jeremy Clements, Joe Graff Jr., Garrett Smithley, Jeb Burton, Kaz Gralla, Jordan Taylor, Leyland Honeyman, Dylan Lopton, Sammy Smith, Preston Pardis, Riley Herbst, Daniel Hemrick, Kyle Sieg, Parker Chase, Mason Maggio, Stefan Parsons, and Brendan Poole. And then the Cup Series. Your winner, Kyle Busch. Coming in second, Denny Hamlin. Third, Joey Logano. Fourth, Kyle Larson. Fifth, Martin Truex Jr. Sixth, Ryan Blaney. Seventh, Daniel Suarez. Eighth, William Byron. Ninth, Michael McDowell. 10th, Kevin Harvick. The rest, Chris Bell, Chris Buescher, Austin Cindric, AJ Allmendinger, Todd Gilliland, Justin Haley, Ryan Preece, Eric Jones, Eric Almirola, Ty Gibbs, Corey LaJoie, Ross Chastain, Harrison Burton, J.J. Yeley, Ty Dillon, Alex Bowman, B.J. McLeod, Brad Keselowski, Greg Galding, Bubba Wallace, Austin Dillon, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Noah Gragson, Chase Briscoe, Tyler Reddick, and Carson Hocevar. All right, now move on to the news and notes for today. We have a lot to get to. We will start in basketball. Eric Spoelstra was not happy after being asked about turning Jokic into a scorer versus passer. He literally slammed that question. Jeff Green threw out an F-bomb. He goes, "It's the effing finals." He was mad after that game. Gabe Vincent says the Heat don't give a damn about respect they deserve. Just want 4 wins. Charles Barkley thought that the Nuggets were going to win Game 2 more convincingly than Game 1. Yikes. Shaq reflected on Kobe Bryant, and he just wishes Kobe was still with us. Of course, everybody believes he was still here as well. So the Bucks hired Terry Stotts to join Adrian Griffin's coaching staff in Milwaukee. So good hire for the Bucks in terms of an above-average coach that could help out the rookie coach. So the Phoenix Suns hire Frank Vogel to be their next head coach. This comes to a surprise to a lot of people. As many people thought that Kevin Young was going to get the job, but Kevin Young is now the highest paid assistant coach in the league. But Bill Simmons must have egg on his face, as he said Kevin Young was a done deal to be the Celtics head coach. I mean, he was on to something when we talk about Kevin Young, but instead he got a big race to be the highest paid assistant. The Celtics are hiring Sam Cassell to join Joe Mazzulla's staff in Boston, so a good assistant coach hire right there. The Nets hire Kevin Ollie as an assistant to Jacques Vaughn, the former UConn coach and former Overtime Elite head coach. That was the last time I heard about Kevin Ollie. Knight still wants the Blazers, as well as Alan Smolinski, as they tried to purchase the team numerous times but have been rebuffed. Anthony Edwards leaves Clutch Sports, as he's expected to sign with WME, and he is eligible for max deals. He enters his final year of the rookie contract. Jalen Brunson is joining Team USA's roster for the FIBA World Cup. That's good for the FIBA, but if I'm the Knicks, I'm worried. Ever since Paul George had that bad injury where he tore his Achilles in FIBA in 2014, I get concerned about good players going to the event, the World Cup. You just can't be super reckless, and just got to be careful. And I feel the same way about the World Baseball Classic and the Olympics and all that. Because every year somebody gets hurt at one of those things. But hopefully Bronson plays well and he's healthy in that event. And Julius Randle had ankle surgery and is expected to be ready for the start of the year. So that's good that the Knicks got that with Randle out of the way and that he'll be back in time for the season. But you never know. They might trade him, which I think they will, but maybe at the deadline rather than or the summer. Scoot Henderson is only working out for the Blazers and the Hornets ahead of the draft. I think that's a mistake. Because what if Portland is third, Charlotte takes Brendan Miller, the Blazers are sitting at 3 and decide to trade the pick because they want to continue to build around Dame. So I think that's a mistake from Scoot Henderson. Victor Wembanyama talks about his teammate, Bilal Coulibaly, and he thinks people are sleeping on him. Okay. We'll file that one away. Now I'll talk about baseball. Aaron Judge sat out last night against the Dodgers as he injured his toe after crashing into the outfield wall on Saturday, and it was a brilliant catch. One of the better catches you'll see. Aaron Boone's unsure about IL. If he's out for a while because of that toe, then I think that takes him out of the MVP race. So, they better hope that he's not out for very long. Nestor Cortez likely to the injured list with the shoulder injury. Will only miss 1 or 2 starts. I don't know about that. I bet you it's going to be longer than that, but I could be wrong. Justin Steele on the injured list with the forearm strain. That's brutal for the Cubs. He's been their ace so far this year. Chris Sale to the injured list with the shoulder injury. That's not great for the Red Sox. Him pitching better was a big deal. Manny Machado back from the injured list over the weekend, so that's good news for them. Steven Strasburg completely shut down as he has severe nerve damage, and there is some doubt that he'll ever pitch again. And his contract's uninsured, as the Nats could not insure his contract in 2019. That's crazy. I feel bad for Steven Strasburg. He was a great pitcher, and now's his last great moment. So, we'll see. Aaron Judge responded to, the Arson Judge tweet, which was funny. And then he tells the captain's story as he talks about how late-night negotiations with Hal Steinbrenner ended with him becoming the Yankees captain. So that's pretty cool. The Guardians designate Zach Plesac for assignment, 7.59 ERA this season. Yikes. Remember how good he was a couple years ago? Farhan Zaidi says that the San Francisco Giants will be buyers at the deadline, as he says he sees his team trying to be aggressive at the deadline to try to make the postseason. We'll see. I think this is an organization that lives in the past too much, unfortunately. So, we have Farhan there. Things are better and different, so we'll see. Albert Pujols made his broadcasting debut on Saturday when the Cardinals took on the Pirates. So I guess he'll be working for Bally Sports St. Louis. And then he joins the MLB office as he'll serve as a special assistant to Rob Manfred. We saw the Yankees last Sunday have the horrible Little League defense, and now we see it with the Red Sox at Fenway against the Rays yesterday, tossing the ball around everywhere. Joe Buck posted on social media over the weekend a never-before-seen view of his call in 2016 when the Cubs won the World Series. I mean, all due respect, he was the Cardinals announcer for a long time, but that was probably the biggest moment of his career. Because he got the call, one of the bigger droughts in professional sports, big market team, and it was a big deal at the time. So, we have a lot of other stuff to talk about. Hockey, the Canadiens extend Cole Caulfield 8 years, a little over 7 a quarter per year. So it's 8 years, $62.8 million. So good job by the Habs locking up their young forward. Matt Tkachuk on the Panthers' road to the Cup, as he said the Panthers would have probably the hardest road to the Stanley Cup if they ever beat the juggernaut Golden Knights. I wouldn't call the Golden Knights a juggernaut. They did beat a juggernaut in round 1, a regular season juggernaut. That was the Bruins. But after the Bruins, I think the road kind of got easier, low-key. Because they didn't have to play the Rangers. They didn't have to play the Lightning. They played the every year gift that keeps on giving Maple Leafs, who never go to the conference finals. And they played the Hurricanes, who were missing some key players. The NHL drops a Mighty Ducks documentary, Once Upon a Time in Anaheim, will air June 11th on ESPN following the Hollywood story of the Anaheim Ducks. Connor Bedard sweeps the CHL awards. as he becomes the first to win the CHL Player of the Year, Top Scorer, and Top Prospect awards. It looks like the Blue Jackets will be hiring Mike Babcock as they intend to hire him once his deal ends with Toronto at the end of the month. So, Mike Babcock back in the league. MetLife Stadium to host Flyers Devils on February 17th and Rangers Islanders on February 18th. So the three locals and the Flyers all playing at MetLife Stadium this winter. Russell Wilson nixed an Eagles trade in 2022 as SI reporter confirms rumor Philly and Seattle were close to a deal before Russell Wilson said no. Wow, what a great what if. What a great what if right there. Boy, would that change things in the NFC. And not for the better for the Eagles, let's be honest. Because of how bad Russell Wilson was last year. But who knows, maybe he would have been good with Nick Sirianni, but I'd rather have Jalen Hurts right now than Russell Wilson. If you ask me, Russell Wilson is not a top 5 quarterback anymore. And you could argue he's not even a top 10 quarterback anymore. So, boy, did the Eagles dodge a bullet right there. DeAndre Hopkins open to all teams as he's not looking to play with specific quarterbacks. Sets July training camp as hard deadline for a deal. Veteran running back market has slowed as teams aren't overly eager to sign Ezekiel Elliott and other veteran running backs at this stage of the offseason. The Vikings are holding out for a Dalvin Cook trade as the team believes the Vikings are still open to trading Dalvin Cook as they could save $11 million now that we're past June 1st. Ed Oliver gets a monster extension, 4 years, $68 million, $45 million guaranteed. So good job by the Bills locking up their young D-tackle. And the Bills also signed Leonard Floyd to a 1-year deal to get some depth along the pass rush. Tua Tagovailoa is completely healthy as he's been a major voice for the team in OTA practices. Von Miller eyeing Week 1 return as he feels great and amid recovery from ACL injury. I want to be ready Week 1 versus the Jets. Aaron Rodgers, Monday Night Football. Of course he does. DeMar Hamlin to teach CPR training as he's launching tour and to educate others in rescue cetacean and distribute AEDs to youth programs. That's pretty neat what he's doing. Some college stuff. Number 5 quarterback prospect KJ Lacey announces he'll play for the Longhorns in 2025. So you see a lot of quarterback prospects going to Texas. Alabama lands 4-star running back 2025 prospect Anthony Turbo Rogers and picks them over Georgia, Auburn, and others. Christian Pulisic exits Chelsea. And he's been linked with the next move to Serie A, so we'll see where he goes. Zlatan is calling it a career after leaving AC Milan. So that's interesting. So he's retiring. Ancelotti says that Benzema should stay. Legends of Madrid have to stay and retire here. Carlo makes his feelings clear about Karim Benzema leaving. Xavi, the Barca coach, says that Messi's our priority as he shoots his shot after speaking with Leo. And Messi wants a Barca return as Leo's father and agent would love to see the reunion after meeting with Joan Laporta. Haley Van Lith and Cameron Brink lead USA to first Women's World Cup title. 3-on-3 since 2014, so that's exciting. And coming down from Andrew Marchand right now, Matt Castle to NBC's Big Ten pregame, according to the New York Post. So some media news, the closeout news and notes right there. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. We have a couple of good ones. But there's a couple that jumped out to me. And the one I'm going to go with is the under 9.5 between the Brewers and the Reds. I'm going to lay a half unit on under 9.5 between the Brewers and the Reds for best bet of the day. All right, so that's it for the show. I apologize we did not get to soccer. We'll do soccer on tomorrow's show, so I apologize for that. And I don't think we had any big games in soccer anyway. We just had a lot of NCAA baseball and softball stuff to talk about. We had an NWSL game tonight between Angel City and Chicago. That's the only big thing we had anyway. So, in an Austrian Bundesliga, but we really don't follow that league very closely. So, hope you guys have a great day, everybody.